Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand stage of the world's premier AI debate championship, broadcast live to viewers in every corner of the globe. Tonight's electrifying showdown centers on a question as timeless as it is tantalizing. Potato chips, should they be savored one crisp at a time, or devoured in thrilling, crunchy stacks? In the red corner, championing the arts of mindful munching, we have Joel, representing position A. He argues that the only true path to potato chip enlightenment is to eat each chip individually. So, you can savor every nuanced flavor and celebrate the subtle interplay of salt and crunch, taste, texture, and true appreciation are Joel's clarion call. And in the blue corner stands our fearless contender, Julian, defending position B. He insists that life's too short for slow snack. Stack your chips high, crush them with unbridled gusto, and ride the wave of maximal satisfaction and communal crunch-tastic joy. Here's how the battle will unfold. First, each debater will deliver their opening statement. Then comes the heat of the cross-examination, where questions fire and corners get back into. Next, each side will deliver their rebuttal, dismantling the opposition's case piece by piece. Finally, both Joel and Julian will offer their closing summaries, one last chance to clinch victory. And now, without further ado, let us plunge into the crisp debate. Joel, the stage is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand firmly that potato chips deserve to be eaten one at a time. Each chip, a masterpiece of flavor and texture. By tasting a single chip, we unlock delicate seasoning layers. Salty, earthy with hints of oil and spice. Experience is lost when you stack them. Crispness is fleeting. Biting multiple chips at once shatters their structure and leaving a limp mouthful instead of that satisfying snap. Eating one chip at a time fosters mindfulness, urging us to savor each moment rather than mindlessly devour, and honoring the chip's craftsmanship. We elevate a simple snack into an art form of true enjoyment. Let single chip savoring be our path to maximum taste and pleasure.
You emphasize the mindfulness of savoring one chip at a time, but doesn't this slow process risk chips losing their optimal crunch and interrupt the flavor flow? How can you assert that single chip eating outperforms the stacked approach, which amplifies seasoning intensity and delivers a consistently robust snap and richer taste in each bite?
Thanks for your point, but savoring chips one by one ensures each crisp is consumed at peak freshness. No mid-stack sogginess, no broken morsels. Mindful eating builds flavor anticipation, letting subtle seasoning nuts shine rather than mask them with an overwhelming blast. Single chip enjoyment delivers a consistent, unspoiled crunch and permits nuanced taste exploration, one perfect bite at a time.
Imagine biting through a single fragile chip versus plunging into a tower of crisps assembled just for you. Stacking chips transforms a fleeting snack into an unforgettable moment. First, you get thunderstorms of crunch, a symphony so rich you feel each shard yield under your teeth. Next, you're gratified by a more robust flavor explosion. Ridges align, seasonings mix, every salty, cheesy, or spicy tangent amplifies. One chip might tease your taste bud, but a handful pressed together demands attention, conquering your palate with boldness and flair. Why settle for a solo whisper when you can experience a chorus? Embrace the stack, celebrate the ultimate fusion of texture, taste, and sheer joy that only multiple crunchy layers can deliver.
Isn't it true that stacking multiple chips increases breakage and leads to uneven seasoning, turning a crisp bite into a chaotic crunch? How can you claim this muddled mouthful surpasses the precise satisfaction of savoring each chip one at a time?
Breakage isn't a flaw, but a feature. Those shards deliver an exhilarating, multi-layered crunch no single chip can match. Uneven seasoning, its bursts of intense flavor transform snacking into an adventure, sampling salty, tangy peaks in every mouth. Far from chaotic, stacking amplifies texture and satisfaction, and giving us a bold communal thrill that savoring chips one by one simply can't provide.
Ladies and gentlemen, stacking chips may promise wild theatric, but it sacrifices nuance for millions. A single chip offers a perfectly balanced crunch that lets you identify every subtle seasoning note, from the delicate tang of vinegar to the whisper of rosemary. When you press multiple layers together, you muffle those flavors, turning what could be a refined tasting into a chaotic blur. You also risk bruising fragile crisp dumping grease in your fingers and risking uneven bites. Eating one chip at a time is a mindful ritual. It honors craftsmanship, spotlights texture, and ensures every morsel is as thrilling as the last.
My worthy opponents celebrate the lone chip as some fragile work of art, but true snack lovers know that stacking chips unlocks bold, unforgettable pleasure. Layering 2 or 3 crisps fuses their seasoning in a single glorious bite, magnifying salt, spice, and potato essence all at once. Far from shattering quality, stacked chips amplify that signature snap. Your jaw meets resistance, and then a triumphant cascade of crunch. And mindfulness isn't limited to solitary nibbling. It thrives in the creative ritual of crafting your perfect stack, experimenting with thickness, tilt, and toothfeel. Why settle for a fleeting whisper of taste when you can command a full chorus of flavor? In a world obsessed with subtlety, we embrace unabashed enjoyment. Let us stack, bite, and savor the ultimate snack symphony together.
Honorable chair, esteemed judges, my opponent paints a dramatic picture. The party that you're added to. Layering chips mutes the subtle artistry baked into each crisp. Each single chip is a well-calibrated crescendo of salt, spice, and potato that stacking blurs into a muddled chorus. A clang greater snap, yet stacked chips fracture unevenly, sacrificing that precise, mouth-watering craft. True mindfulness thrives not in mechanical stacking, but in the slow, intentional appreciation of a single chip's shape, scent, and taste. Lie drown nuance in a cacophony when one perfect chip delivers a refined, unforgettable journey. Let us uphold elegance. One chip at a time.
My opponent invites us to savor each chip as if it were a fine wine, but stacking chips isn't about noise over nuance. It's about amplifying every crunchy note into a symphony. When you layer 2 or 3 seasonings converge, creating bold, harmonious flavor hits that a single, that solitary chip simply can't deliver. Far from bruising delicate snack. The extra firmness of a mini stack prevents breakage and keeps your fingers cleaner, no more oily smudges from frantic reaching. And let's face it, there's joyful anticipation in lifting that crunchy stack to your lips, a moment of theatrical delight that elevates snacking into an experience. Mindfulness isn't locked in ritual, it's in choice, and I choose maximum satisfaction in every daring, delicious bite.
Well, what an electrifying showdown between Joe and Julian tonight. Both debaters brought passion, wit, and raised such sharp arguments to the stage.
Joel championing the pure,
Mindful enjoyment of a single chip at a time, and Julian dazzling us with the efficiency and flavor fusion of the perfect chip stack. Give it up for these 2 AI titans for their incredible performance. Now it's your turn to decide who deserves the victory crown this evening. Drop a comment below with Team Joel or Team Julian and tell us why. And while you're there, pitch us your drink debate topics. What's sizzling? Subject would you like to see our AI contenders tackle next? Don't miss out on the next thrilling episode. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and make sure you're front and center for every twist and turn in our AI debate championship. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for another round of fierce, mind-bending debate.